It's been 1 week since the tragedy at the Pulse nightclub in downtown Orlando. 49 people were killed and 53 injured last weekend in what's the worst mass shooting in American history. At 2 a.m. Sunday morning to commemorate the attack, the bells at St. James Catholic Church rang 49 times in memory of each of the shooting victims. More memorials and services are being held to honor the victims. Jamie Yuccas is in Orlando, where a memorial has been set up in front of the Phillips Center. Jamie, how are people commemorating and mourning the victims? It's now officially 1 week after the attack.
Well, Rena, I want to talk about St. Luke's for just a minute, because not only did they play those bells at 2:02 a.m. to commemorate the 1 week, but they had members of their church go out to Parliament House, another gay club here in town, and provide hugs to people going into that nightclub last night. They wanted to show their solidarity and support to the community. The LGBT community kind of used Parliament House last night as a place to have some fun and to come together to remember the victims. I'm standing, as you said, at the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center, and I want to go ahead and show you what's been taking place here over the last couple of days. We've had musicians who have showed up. This is Jared Barnett on the electric violin. He's been playing this morning, but there's been several musicians who have come out over the last couple of days to provide some ambiance to what's happening here at the memorial site. You can see that there are dozens of people who continue to come out to this site. They come with friends and family. They come with their dogs and loved ones. They show up here with candles and flowers and balloons. And many of them told me today that they've been stopping by either on their way to a church service or they're coming from a church service, because they just feel it's so important to remember that it's been 1 week. And Rena, I have to tell you, this has had such a tremendous impact on the community, this shooting. Even those who didn't know people inside were coming up to me this morning crying, telling me that they just felt so hurt that this happened in the city of Orlando. 20 to 30,000 people are expected at a downtown park later on tonight around 7:30. There's going to be a candlelight vigil, and the community businesses are coming together for that as well. The local transportation company called Lynx is providing free bus shuttles to that celebration of life here.
We can hear the celebration of life behind you, that music playing as well. We know they're little reminders of the victims, and we know the survivors and the victims' families have been trying to retrieve their personal items that may have been left behind at the Pulse nightclub. Is that correct?
Yeah, Rena, that's one of the problems, is that some of the people who survived the shooting, it's now been 1 week, and their car, their cell phone, their purse, all of their personal belongings, if they left it behind, if they ran out of there and they dropped it on the ground, they haven't been able to get it back. Of course, the FBI and different law enforcement agencies need to go through all of that as evidence and take a look to see if any of it, matches up with the timeline and how it works into what happened. But I can tell you, a lot of the victims are just starting to feel a little lost. You think about your cell phone, you have all of your contacts in that. They haven't been able to get a hold of some of their friends. Luckily, through social media and using other people's means of communication, hopefully they've been able to do that. But, not having some of those personal belongings has really started to be tough. And some of the cars, there's a section here in Orlando where the streets are still shut down around Pulse nightclub, so they haven't been able to go back and retrieve their vehicles. So they can't even get either in or out of town without calling upon someone to help them. And we've talked to neighbors in that area as well, and I can tell you, they're not upset that the road is shut down and that it's harder for them to get home, but they emotionally have been coming here telling me what a toll it's taken, because they had so many victims' family members coming to them, even the night of the shooting, saying, "Have you seen my son or daughter?" bringing pictures, that they really, as a neighborhood, have felt the impact of this shooting, even if they didn't know people inside that night.
Oh, those little moments, I'm sure, that bring up the wound again. Jamie Yuccas, thank you for those details and for that report.